Greetings, seekers of truth. You know me. My name echoes in your classrooms whenever a right-angled triangle appears. Pythagoras. You tie my name to a single equation. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. But this is merely one note in the symphony of my life. My name is Pythagoras of Samos. And yes, I am the one you speak of, but I am far more than a theorem. I was a philosopher, a mystic, a guide, and to my followers, I was the master. Allow me to tell you how I saw the universe. I was born on the Greek island of Samos, around 570 BC. From a young age, I knew the world was larger than my island. I was thirsty, not for water, but for logos, for reason, for knowledge. I left Greece and traveled. My mind was a sponge. In Egypt, I spent years with the priests. They were masters of geometry. I watched them use knotted ropes to create perfect right angles and raise their colossal pyramids. They knew how it worked, but I asked myself, why does it work? In Babylon, I delved into astronomy and the secrets of numbers they had gathered for generations. I saw mathematics in action, measuring land and predicting eclipses. But I sensed something deeper, something they were touching upon, but did not fully grasp. Eventually, I settled in Croton, in southern Italy, and there I founded my school. But do not call it a school. It was a brotherhood, a way of life. My followers, the Pythagoreans, and I lived as a community. Our rules were strict, absolute secrecy about our teachings, a vegetarian diet, for I believed in metempsychosis, the transmigration of souls. You would not eat an animal if it might house the soul of a friend, would you? Our central principle was the key to the universe. It was my greatest revelation. All is number. To me, numbers were not just tools for counting. They were the very essence of reality. 1 was the point, the origin. 2 was the line. 3 was the surface, the triangle. And 4 was the solid. The 10 was sacred, the tetractys. Legend says, I discovered harmony while passing a blacksmith shop. The hammers were striking in perfect consonance. I rushed inside and found why. Their weights had simple mathematical relationships. I took this to music. I took one string, a monochord, and found the magic. If you cut a string in half, a 2-to-1 ratio, you get the perfect octave. If you divide it 3-to-2, you have the perfect fifth. At 4-to-3, the perfect fourth. Harmony, the very beauty that pleases our ears, was just mathematics. Ratios of whole numbers. If music on earth was made of numbers, why would the heavens be any different? I thought that the planets, in their orbits, also followed these ratios, singing a silent song as they danced through the cosmos, the harmony of the spheres. And that brings me to the triangle. The Egyptians and Babylonians knew the recipe for certain triangles, but I and my disciples sought the universal truth. We proved it. We demonstrated that in any right-angled triangle, the area of the square built upon the longest side, the hypotenuse, is exactly equal to the sum of the areas of the squares built upon the other two sides. It was not a trick. It was a law of the universe. Proof that numerical order governed space itself. My philosophy was perfect. The universe was made of whole numbers and their ratios, until the universe itself challenged us. The problem was simple. A square, a perfect square with sides of 1. What was the length of its diagonal? Using my own theorem, 1 squared plus 1 squared equals c squared. The diagonal squared was 2. But what number multiplied by itself gives 2? We tried to find a fraction, a ratio of integers that would explain this number, and we failed. The number did not exist in our system. It was irrational, a logos, without reason. This shook our faith. It was a terrible secret. They say one of my own, Hippasos, dared to reveal this truth to the world and was drowned for his betrayal. The truth is often dangerous. My school was eventually destroyed by politics and fear. I died in exile. But my ideas, they are immortal, just as I believed the soul was. I was perhaps the first man to call himself a philosopher, a lover of wisdom, not a possessor of it. Today, my theorem is the foundation of your architecture, your engineering, your navigation. My search for musical harmony still defines the scale you use. But my true legacy is not an equation. It is this idea. The universe is not chaos. It has order. And that order is mathematics. So, the next time you look at the stars, listen to music, or solve a problem, remember me. Remember Pythagoras. And listen. The universe is speaking to you. It speaks in numbers.